Hello everyone. You might be wondering why you're here. Well, I made a promise, so yes. Welcome to the video where I'll tell you about 10 facts. That's right, 10 facts you didn't even know about StarQuest. And I'm going to be sharing these 10 facts to you guys because I know you guys want to know what are the 10 secret facts that you didn't even know about. So let's start off with fact number 1. So about the first fact about the 10 things you didn't know about StarQuest is that there was actually a original pilot for the show. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a actual video or an actual pilot episode that I didn't make before I even made season 1. However, technically, there was technically a pilot that I made in 2024. Well, it wasn't an episode, but it was about the character Leo, and Leo himself was actually the pilot, and that's why I made some of these designs of him, as you guys can see on the screen. There are like these old designs I made for Leo, and it wasn't until somewhere in like September or some other month is where I actually made Leo's colors, and that's how Leo looks like today. Okay, fact number 2 is basically another fact that I actually remembered in my head, and it's about Mondo and Genghis. Now, I know that I don't own these characters because they're from another company, which is Nickelodeon. However, the real reason why Mondo and Genghis are inside of the StarQuest show is because dating all the way back to the first episode. Back in the first episode, Mondo, when Leo meets Mondo for the first time, he says that they are from another universe and they don't even belong in this universe. If you even know if I can recreate or update these guys' designs, I'll see, but you know, these two are pretty iconic, and yes, it's just an indie show, sitcom, whatever. But yeah, that's why I made the characters. Well, only Leo and Clump and Crusha, but the others they're from other brands or owners, whatever. All right then. So fact number 3. This is gonna be a good one. Now, about fact number 3 is about season 1. So, season 1, as you already know, it has 6 episodes. It will be like the shortest season. Kind of similar to how Family Guy's season 1 is the shortest season because there were only 7 episodes. But however, this wasn't the case at all. Originally, season 1 of StarQuest, it was going to have 20 episodes or 10 episodes. Well, in my mind, I was going to give it 10 episodes, and some characters were going to have like 2 episodes that focused on them. But however, I didn't have enough time, and I might be running out of time because, you know, I'm always busy with some important stuff outside of YouTube or outside of any other social media platforms. So that is why I have to make season 1 as like 6 episodes because, well, I mean, technically, it's just a very fast season. It's just the first season, you know. I mean, come on, to be honest, season 1 was such a great adventure. It went from like this. From the very first episode to the very last episode. And yes, making season 1 was great, and with the voices, I had to be changing the voices. And that's going to be answer to fact number 4. So about fact number 4 is the voices, yes. And apparently, I was actually using my normal voice for the characters in episodes 1 and 2. Yes, it was in episode 1, it sounded like this. Ah, haha, you're from another dimension, how funny. You know, just because you're from another dimension doesn't mean you're from a freaking Pokemon. And also this. Okay, come on, lighter. Stupid lighter. Hey, it worked! So even though I only used my normal voice for the first 2 episodes, however, onwards, I've been changing my voice into like different voice filters. And that's how every character's personality works. Like, Leo's like the hero, Genghis is the old man, or Mondo is the energetic kid. Every character has a personality. And that's why in the third episode, everything changed. So I'll give you a little close-up.
This sucks. How am I even supposed to be driving in this stupid tiny car while making it all the way to the dealership to get a new one?
And yeah, honestly, I can see why. Now on to number 5, and this one is pretty of a confusing one. So number 5 is that Leo's original design. Yes. Now I talked about his original sketches, but his original species is something that we didn't even think about. And I remember this that I actually was going to change my mind about. Well, originally, Leo's original species was not going to be a Gengar. Instead, Leo was originally going to be a Lucario. Probably because it would make him more heroistic, like hero style, and probably save the world from domination. But even though I see a bunch of, artists that I can't even say on YouTube, they probably will attack me, and then they will attack if Leo was a Lucario. So with the idea of Leo becoming a Gengar actually makes a lot of sense because we already know Gengar is one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. He's probably the second most popular Pokemon, just only behind Pikachu and probably Charizard. No one knows. But still to this day, the rest is history. Alright, so for the 6th fact about StarQuest that you didn't know is that about the title, right, the title of the show. Well, originally, there were a lot of things I was going to name the show. Like, there was one attempt I was going to call it Leo and Friends, but that sounded very childish. Another attempt I would say is Pokemon Adventures, but that didn't even work. And the third attempt is that I was going to be calling it Mystery Dungeon Aftermath, because you know about the Mystery Dungeon series. However, I've been looking up for some stuff and I call it Stellar Quest, not because of something, but I actually remember that Stellar Quest, it means finding like Stellar Terra shards. If you guys don't know, if you played the Scarlet and Violet DLC, if you remember that. So number 7 for this fact, okay. So about the show, now the show is actually based on 2 things. Or 3 things if you would count. So of course it's based on Pokemon, and there is some TMNT content. But it's also based on Donkey Kong because, well, technically if you look at Leo and if you look at a picture of Donkey Kong, they are both muscular and strong, so that is why we have 2 strong main characters. And that was the original plot, because originally the show was supposed to be like based on like Donkey Kong, and some of the characters were supposed to be based on the Kongs. But that ship has sailed, so I just made it into my own personalities, and that's why StarQuest is StarQuest. If you know about that. So for number 8, this one is going to be really, really interesting. So even though I have a project called StarQuest, but I also made a project based on SML called SML The Next Generation, which focuses on some characters like Jeffy, Jr., Rose, and even Genghis when he was young. But when I said Genghis, I was also going to say this. Are SML The Next Generation, right? SML The Next Generation and StarQuest connected due to Genghis? Well, the answer is both yes and no. Well, technically it's mostly yes because, well, we know that Genghis is from another dimension, but we don't know if Mondo is actually from the SML Next Generation dimension or from the Mutant Mayhem dimension, because of course they're based on Mutant Mayhem, but it's unclear that if we can make like an episode where their origins are revealed, then we might see. So for number 9, I know we're almost there, but number 9 is that we're gonna be talking about which characters' names, like the characters, like where did they get their names from? Well, I'm gonna start off with Leo. Leo got his name from two famous things: Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles, and of course Da Vinci, of course. And Clump and Crush, yes, they both got their names from the bad guys of Donkey Kong Country. That's why. So for the last fact I'm going to be sharing with you guys is, well, technically there was going to be a movie. That is right, there was originally going to be a movie, and hold up, I'm going to say this. Originally, Kiara, who was actually the new character in the season finale, and yes, shout out to Mudkip with Shades, yep, shout out to him, he's my friend, of course. But originally, Kiara's first appearance was not supposed to be in like season 1. Originally, she was supposed to appear in the movie. Yes, originally we were going to make a movie that would probably have her as a new character in that movie. But unfortunately, it's a little too early to have a Star Quest movie, and possibly after with the first season that would never work, obviously. And so yeah, that was the 10 things or facts you didn't know all about Star Quest. And yeah, it was nice making this video, and I hope you guys have a nice, awesome, cool rest of 2026. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next video.